It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singatoka.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, unionist Daniel Rai and 5 others charged with unlawful strike. Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama says Fiji is on track to prosperity. And Fiji Airways announces bold 5-year strategic plan. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. A unionist and 5 other Sheraton hotel staff have been charged for participating in the New Year's Eve strike at Narewa Village. The group has been granted bail by the Nandi Magistrates Court this afternoon. Christopher Chand reports.
National Union for Hospitality, Catering and Tourism Industries General Secretary Daniel Urai, Union President Penny Finau, Sikelinga Vindi, Isei Levula, Merewai Vodevode and Akariva Nawai were produced in court today. They were charged for unlawful strike following investigations conducted by a special police team from Suva tasked to look into the December 31st protest by Starwood Hotel's employees. They were taken in for questioning yesterday. Police prosecutor Sunil Gosai objected to bail and made an application for all 6 to be remanded in custody. Gosai stated that unionists were using this to fulfill their own agenda and the incident had an impact on the tourism industry. Lawyer representing the accused Aman Singh stated that the group had the right to bail and in defense replied to each point filed by the prosecution. He stated that it was a labor-related matter between the employer and employees and did not involve hardened criminals. Singh said there was no evidence that the incident had an impact on the tourism industry and that the hotel had remained open. He requested for a hearing date next week. Magistrate Wikrama Sekara granted them bail on strict conditions that they report to the Nandi police station every Friday, provide a surety and a bail bond of $1,000. They have also been banned from traveling overseas. Outside court, relieved family and friends were glad to see the group out on bail. The 6 will appear in court on March 17th, when a hearing date is expected to be set. Police investigations in the meantime are continuing and all staff who went on strike last Tuesday are likely to be questioned. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Fiji Airways has embarked on a 5-year strategic plan, which the airline says will make it truly independent and ensure future success. Ritika Pratap reports the company will buy new aircrafts and hire more workers as part of its growth plans.
A major part of Fiji Airways' strategic plan is to either buy or lease 5 new aircraft and increase seat availability across all markets by 35%. These include an A330, 2 Boeing 737s, 2 ATR 737-800s and 2 ATR 72-600s.
We have designed this growth pretty carefully because, of course, we did market studies. We know what the markets we fly to, how they grow, how they grew in the last 3 years, how they predicted the growth, and then we translate this GDP growth into traffic growth, and then we try to grow with the market.
The airline has prepared an aggressive financial performance strategy to increase profits to more than 100 million Fijian dollars annually for the next 5 years. Stefan Pikla says under the plan, they will have better cash flow and all the future investments will be self-funded.
You have to make sure that your business is stable. You can't run to the government every minute and say, oh, we have a problem. Yeah? So this plan is also pretty balanced because in every year of the planning period, we have a stable cash flow which helps us funding all new activities, funding new aircraft and paying off debt, which is important.
The airline adds this growth will also create about 30% more jobs for locals.
Decrease the expats and increase the locals. But because we grow in the same period of time, we can't just switch it over like that. Because where do we get the locals? We get it from other airlines, we get it from Fiji Airways gets it from Pacific Sun or Fiji Link. Then we have to make sure that Fiji Link doesn't dry out. They still need to operate. And so it's a gradual process, yeah? It's a gradual process. So step by step, we get there because we hire locals every year and we dispatch or diminish expats every year.
This year alone, Fiji Airways will hire 14 pilots, either from the flying school or Pacific Sun. Further training will be implemented for all staff at Fiji Airways to establish a highly skilled workforce. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Fiji is on the right track to equality, stability and prosperity, says Prime Minister Vurengeng Bainimarama. Speaking at the 15th anniversary for New Zealand-based travel group Pacific Destinations at Denarau last night, Bainimarama says this year Fiji will raise a new parliamentary democracy based for the first time on common citizenry. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
The Prime Minister believes that Fiji, guided under its new constitution, now has hope for the future, and this is something people should be excited about and proud of.
Each person must decide for him or herself what they want this future to look like. This is an individual choice, and one that I urge each of you to think about seriously, especially as we move closer to elections and you are faced with different ideas and different options.
Vurengeng Bainimarama says the government is doing its part in working on a solid and durable foundation to build a new Fiji.
This has meant adopting a holistic and long-term approach to reforms: electoral, constitutional, social, institutional and economic reforms. One of the cornerstones of our reform program is that policies must be consistent.
The Prime Minister believes that Fiji will have limitless opportunities if our country continues on the path his government has set.
Indeed, many financial institutions, both local and international, agree that if we keep our hands on the controls and maintain the course we're on, Fiji will continue to rocket ahead. In 4 or 5 years' time, we will be one of the true success stories of the Pacific.
Bainimarama adds all development and progress within Fiji are interconnected, feeding off each other to improve the lives of ordinary Fijians. Vosita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
The government has denied political party claims of delays in key appointments for the elections office. The government says calls by political parties to hurry things along are just a smokescreen. Apisalome Doka has more.
Political parties told FBC News last week their work towards preparing for the upcoming elections are being hampered by delays in appointing key positions in the elections office.
Necessary laws have not been put in place, and necessary officers have not been appointed, you see.
So a smokescreen, really. The fact is that the positions are being advertised. The supervisor of elections position has been advertised. The electoral commissioners have been appointed. You have 32 posts being advertised in Saturday's papers, filling in about 230 positions. That's obviously work on track.
Sayad Qayyum says he does not see anything that stops registered political parties in preparing for the upcoming elections.
The constitution is quite clear in respect of the actual fundamental electoral system, so it does not in any way affect their ability to prepare for the elections. It is unlike the previous system where the alternative vote, where your preferences, etc., where you vote above the line, below the line. All those sorts of things won't exist. You do not even have compartmentalization of the voters.
The Attorney General says political parties must understand it is important for the government to have the elections office operate independently.
The elections office needs to be dealt with in an apolitical manner. It's not a political organization. For the first time, we have now a government that's saying that the elections office needs to be completely independent, which is a good thing. It's a very positive thing. Most elections offices throughout the world where there is transparency and credibility, they are completely independent.
The 2014 elections will be held before 30th September. The elections, which will have an electronic voter system, will be held in just one day. Apisolo Medoka, FBC News.
Coming up, Fiji Roads Authority wants to see less damage to infrastructure.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We like Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
I love Today FM because they play the awesome songs.
Loto kasi love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Univer Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, enapan 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM namban 2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke buat kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM nampan 2 Korbu.
Bula FM namban 2 Sawa. Bula FM namban 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Nampan 2 nam Bula FM memba.
Bula FM
Number 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau talitak ada warung yang Bula FM, Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM nampan 2 NSR.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Damage to property and equipment is a major concern of the Fulton Hogan Company as it reviews its performance last year. Among these were cable damages while working on the road, and one thing is for sure, things must change this year. Vosita Kotawasawasa reports.
Workers at Fulton Hogan Highways have been reminded that damaging cables is a very expensive exercise for the company last year.
We had 17 utility strikes, 17 wire strikes, where we brought down tip wires, brought them down with an excavator or spreading chip with a truck or with a grader. Now I don't know how many we have to have before somebody gets very hurt, but I'm saying to us 17 is too many.
Another area of concern to the company is in their traffic setup zone. Sims says that workers have to ensure that cones are properly set up, especially during the use of heavy machinery at their worksite.
12 reversing incidents. So when you put that back in perspective, at least once a month we're reversing into something. So again, something that we really need to improve on, because whilst it's only been property damage so far, it's not going to take too much before somebody is actually injured.
Sims adds that there were 28 incidents where people could have injured themselves in situations which could have been avoided if more care had been taken. He says this has to change.
And all of those are behaviour, and all of those are attitude, and all of those are how we think about what we're doing and what's going to happen to us. So guys, you know, we've really, 2014, got to have a look at our attitude.
A total of 120 workers went through their safety training at the Fulton Hogan Depot in Samambula yesterday, and there will be similar trainings done for those in the west and the north. Sims declined to reveal just how much is used in the repair of cables they damage during their work. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Bollywood's Fijian music sensation Sumit Tapu was awarded the Emerging Soulful Singer of 2014 at the 20th Lions Gold Awards in Mumbai last night. The night honored the contribution of eminent personalities from the fields of films, TV, sports, business, medicine and NGO. Last year, Tapu was praised for his work with 3 other music legends, Pankaj Udas, Anup Jalota and Talat Aziz, on his latest album, Destiny. Tapu is fast making a name for himself in the Indian music industry and is currently working on some Bollywood movie songs. Save the Children Fiji was today given a recognition award by the International Olympic Committee. This came after Save the Children Fiji joined hands with their international counterpart and organized a race for survival for the children of Fiji. Baron Pierre de Coubertin Trophy was awarded to SCF for organizing Race for Survival and was recognized for promoting healthy lifestyles amongst young people.
We're honoured to receive this award from IOC. We really appreciate the way in which that Fasanok has put forward this project that we ran last year, the Race for Survival. The award, at the heart of it, it celebrates the values of friendship, excellence, and respect.
This annual event will be held again in October 2014, and Save the Children Fiji is hoping to make this event a successful one. That time again, Jamie joins us now with Friday Night Sports. What do you have for us?
Good evening. Well, coming up, a 17-member Sevens team was named today as Coach Ben Ryan raises the intensity at training sessions. And after being locked out of the National Hockey Centre, our under-18 hockey squad resort to training on the sand. Details after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2 is number 1 in Singapore का।
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैनी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2।
रेडियो PG2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो PG2 is number 1 in Singapore।
नैनी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो PG2।
हम नन्नूपुर के करीब रहता है और हम रेडियो PG2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो PG2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे, आप भी रेडियो PG2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2।
Talita na radio PG1 na mwira ni nonda konoa.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio PG1 singa toka boleta ni station ni Alumatua.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na radio PG1 station ni Alumatua ilo toka.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na radio PG1 na mandi na station ni Alumatua.
Au tuko korbo ando borrongo leva na station ni Alumatua na radio PG1.
Ando borrongo na radio PG1 na station ni Alumatua na mandoi tele.
Na radio PG1 nando moi bitin bonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The 17-member Fiji 7 squad for the Las Vegas and Wellington tournaments were announced this afternoon. Named in the side are two newcomers, William Mata and Marika Vunimbaka. Coach Ben Ryan has also dropped Tsasa Veremalua from the expanded squad.
Feedback against Jassa, gave back to all the boys that didn't get selected, different amounts of feedback. For Jassa, I didn't think he's quite at the level of fitness that's required. He's still coming back from a fairly serious knee injury. Not quite there yet, and in training he wasn't quite making the impact on the field that some of the other forwards were making. So there's some exciting young talent in there when you look at Marika Vunimbaka and Viliami Mata in particular that have never been in training squads before. Young, talented.
The final 12-member team will be named next Thursday. And still with Sevens, Coach Ben Ryan says he will continue to push the training levels of his squad in order to have the best prepared team. And as Indra Singh reports, there aren't any easy training sessions with Coach Ryan.
It's hard yards for our national rugby sevens team. Training under the hot Deumba sun is something most would dread about, but not our sevens gladiators.
It's been hard sessions, you know, I've worked them hard, but on top of that, we're training at the hottest time of the day as well, and I'm doing that on purpose, but it means the boys have had some hard work.
The sweating and struggles at training is just the start of a long road to glory for this team. Ryan is making no bones about what he expects from his chosen lot.
What I've been pleased with is the boys that were away in the last two tournaments, they've all come back fit. So, that, you know, I'm not there, I'm not around on Christmas Day. They're in their families and times when they could be, you know, eating wrong and drinking wrong. And it's obvious that they've made some sacrifices at Christmas, so I'm grateful for that.
Fiji Sevens has not hit their stride yet, despite having won the Dubai tournament last year. Ryan knows too well what his brigade will be up against.
I'm at my happiest is out on the field with the boys training. You know, everything else just fades away when you're on the field, and I've been grateful for all their positive attitude this week.
It's one more week of training next week before the side departs for Las Vegas. And as the saying goes, the sweat and blood makes the glory even better and sweeter. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, former New Zealand rugby rep Luke Masirewa featured for the Army side in the Ulu Inakau Sevens in Nausori today. The lanky forward is a vital link for the Ndela Inambua base side, which is skippered by former National Sevens rep Vilitati Sokibeta. 40 teams are currently battling it out for the $5,000 cash prize. Defending champions Warden's Gold is one of the top guns alongside Red Rock, Yamadhia and Army. Teams took time to shake off the holiday jitters, but the action stepped up a notch as the tournament progressed to the third round of pool play. An official handing over of the turf lease from Fiji Hockey Federation back to Fiji Sports Council has put a damper on their Youth Olympic qualifiers preparations in Vanuatu next month. The Fiji under-18 sides were today denied access to use the National Hockey Centre in Laucala Bay until the FBC comes up with a facility higher rate, which they hope will be revealed soon. Until then, it's the grass, turf, or even as Elena MacDonald came across today, the beach.
There's a saying that goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemon juice. That's just what this lot did today.
This is not just to qualify for the backdoor competition, this is for the Olympics. So, like every real trooper, you get knocked back from one, you look for something else. And the beach just looked inviting this morning, so that's where we went.
While not the best for development, a sandy turf proved to have some advantages.
They also found that running in the sand was not so easy, so we possibly got fitness out of that run as well this morning, so it was quite good. So I think we've done justice with what short time we had with the turf, yes. And that can be attributed to the fact that we had the turf basically at our disposal.
Still, no word yet from the Fiji Sports Council in regards to plans they have for the National Hockey Centre. It is expected some long overdue refurbishments will take place since it was built in 2003. Elena MacDonald, FBC Sports.
The Bar football side has included 4 current Fiji under-20 reps in its squad to face Nandi in the Pillay Garments champion versus champion match tomorrow. Naren Rao Jr., Antonio Tuivuna, Saulo Wanga and Paulo Mbuke could get game time tomorrow for their defending champs. Nandi wraps up its training today before hosting the match tomorrow. Most of its star players are available for the clash. And that's it from sports for me. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, have a safe weekend.
The Fiji experience is not measured by a single company or a simple hotel or a single attraction, says Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama. Speaking at the 15th anniversary of the Pacific Destinations last night, Bainimarama says visitors to Fiji judge their experiences from accommodation, the people, restaurants, and even the roadside stalls. He says Pacific Destinations has become one of the most recognized and trusted names in Fiji's tourism industry. The Prime Minister also launched the company's new tourist transfer buses.
I'm sure that Pacific Destination will continue to improve upon this experience by setting new standards. Indeed, the purchase of 2 new deluxe coaches is a perfect example of their commitment to this goal.
Last day of the week, and how's the weekend looking, Jen?
Quite promising, Jackie, but first, how did we fare today? Pretty well, if you ask me. Yes, it was hot and we had some cloudiness here and there, but since we can't do much about it, let's look at the positives. Great Friday weather, which should mean great weekend weather. Temperatures have eased up a little in Savu. They're the coolest today on 31. The west is still blazing hot though, with all 3 centers on 34 degrees. Thankfully, Lautoka's no longer on 35. And what did I tell you? Fantastic weather tomorrow with a high likelihood of similar conditions on Sunday. And finally, here's another aerial shot to end the working week. A gorgeous photo of the beautiful Waikaya Island. My goodness, and this was sent in by Lameki Lenoir. A big thank you to Lameki and the other first responders for doing such a marvelous job. In fact, I think I'm inspired now to become a first responder, Jackie.
I'm sure you are. Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines once again: unionist Daniel Urai and 5 others have been charged with unlawful strike and granted bail by the Nandi Magistrates Court. Fiji Airways to buy 5 new planes over the next 5 years as part of a bold strategic plan. And Prime Minister says Fiji is on the track to prosperity. To the poll question this week, we're asking: Should the government fast-track its projects for 2014? Go to www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's your news for tonight. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, you have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
ओल्ड टाउन टावर में इट्स ओनली मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची एफएम बजे. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
बेस्ट साउंड, बेस्ट म्यूजिक, मिर्ची एफएम रॉक्स एंड रेकॉर्ड.
नानी का नंबर 1 स्टेशन है मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स नंबर 1 इन नर्सरी.
मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हम लोग मिर्ची एफएम रोज सुनता है. मिर्ची एफएम जागो मामा.
मिर्ची एफएम